All right, we are live. Hey, 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 guys. It's your favorite wellness chicks, Keisha and Ivy, and we are here from your favorite and only Chat, Chew, and You show, the interactive wellness show where it's all about promoting self care, holistic health, and confident, energetic living. Who doesn't want that, right? And
Right.
today, yes, we are talking about getting in nutrition. Easy, simple nutrition tips for the busiest of the busiest folks. All right. That includes me, Ivy, and you who's watching, obviously, because you want to know too how to get in and get the nutrition right. Right. All right. So keep listening. But before we delve into that, I want to tell you about a couple of things. One, if you have any questions to the show, any comments or feedback, please let us know. You can do so on the events page in Google Plus, and we'll be sure to address them. Secondly, the name of the show, Chat, Chew, and You. We're chatting, we are chewing, and we need you to interact with us. So tell us what you're chewing on in the comments as well. I have some lovely, delicious pineapples. Got to get some more food in today. Juicy, juicy. So if you see something in my teeth or what have you, just never mind me. It might be some pineapples or something. And I have my trusty water, so I have not had enough today, and I know that. So I got to get that in. What about you, Ivy? You got anything over there you munching
You know
on?
what? I do not, because I told you it's been one of those crazy days. And interestingly enough, I have pineapples in the refrigerator. And earlier today, I just like ran in there and took a few cubes. And lately, I've been on this tomato and cucumber kick. I posted about it on Instagram. Like I've just been craving tomatoes and cucumbers. So um, I've been getting those in. So maybe somewhere in the broadcast, I'll sneak over to the kitchen and grab some real quick because that has been my thing. And you know what it is? It's because they I don't know. I guess because summer's almost over and I'm getting them in before the season is over, and they're so filling and crunchy, and yeah, I'm gonna get some.
You have talked yourself into getting some. I hear you. Yes, yes, yes. Well, you know what? If you had your phone or device or something, you can walk us with you to your kitchen.
I can do that. I can connect to the phone and do that.
All right. Okay, so nutrition tips. Before we even get started, wanted to share with you guys one more thing. Nutrition. What is nutrition? It may seem like a simple word, and everybody will say, "Oh, I know what nutrition is." It is. And then, what would you say, Ivy?
I would say that nutrition is anything that you're intaking that's going to provide your body with the necessary sources. And I'm trying not to use the word nutrients, but um, the sources, the chemicals, the things that it needs in order to survive and to thrive. So when you think about, the vitamins that you need, the chemicals that you need, of course, there's the water and the liquids that you need in order to survive. Nutrition is focusing on those things that help you to survive and to thrive in life. And so, yeah, I would think that would be my perspective in a way of not making it too complicated. Into
Right.
you know.
As a matter of fact, you guys noticed I asked a health coach. So she had the perfect answer, right? I mean, Webster couldn't provide a better answer than that. So.
Thank you. I want to keep it simple. I don't want it to be complicated. We're not doing doctoral degrees here.
Right. I don't want one of those anyway. It sounds too complicated. But, so yes, guys, we are talking about the things you can do for your body to make sure, and I love what Ivy says, to thrive, right? Not just to satisfy our taste buds, because if that's the case, I be eating all my favorite foods every day. But but it's for our body to thrive. And if you think about it, all the stuff that we as busy people do, we're in the age of busy now, right? Bump the industrial age, the ice age, mechanical age, whatever other ages, we are in the busy age. And all the stuff we have going on is so easy to get those less nutritious foods because they're more convenient, right? We can stop at fast food places. We can pick up those, and I'm guilty. We can pick up those, Michelinas or whatever you call them, little processed frozen foods at the grocery store and all of that good stuff, because it's so simple to pop something in the microwave and live a microwave life. You know what I mean? But tonight, guys, I want you to listen up, because we are going to tell you some things that we do, as well as what we found other people have found helpful to get in what they need. And it's not just food, right? We're talking about thriving. So that means water and supplements. And matter of fact, Ivy did mention that, supplements as well. So we're going to talk about those things that you can do to thrive and have that energy of the day, right? Okay, so now we have that out of the way. Okay, so think about your day. Your day is divided up into all types of things, right? We got so many errands on our list. We got to-do lists. We got to, we have to sleep at some point. So that takes up some of our day. We're working, building businesses, whatever it is we're doing. And we find little slits of time in there to get in something to ingest in our bodies. And a lot of times it's so quick, we even forget what the food tasted like or whatever what we had. What you have for lunch? Oh, dang, I don't even know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so with that, it's like, okay, what can you really, for those meals we don't even remember, were they really nutritious? I have no clue. I have no idea a lot of times. So what is it that we can do? So that's what we're talking about tonight. Again, if you have any questions, let us know. Ivy, I know you mentioned you had getting over a cold a little bit. What are some things you do when your body is healing, in healing mode or what have you? Because I think this is important too. What do you do in terms of what you're eating, what you're doing? How do you get your energy when you're recuperating, so to speak? Because you're still busy, you still have to work, you still have to, do stuff. What do you do in those instances in terms of food and water and nutrition? I mean, overall.
Sure. I actually wrote a blog post about this, and writing the blog post made me actually zero in on it even more about, hey, what do I do? Because like you said, sometimes we do things just inherently, and we don't really think about exactly, all the specific points. So one of the biggest things that I do is that I decrease the foods that require a high amount of digestion. So let me explain that. Like the heavy meats, like red meats, those really heavy meals. And the reason for that is because when you want your body to be healing from the flu or a cold or whatever, it takes energy from your body to recuperate and to fight off that illness that you're dealing with. And so if the body, it takes energy to digest meals and to digest food. So if your body is fighting off the cold or the flu and it's digesting meals, I mean, you're just going to be absolutely drained. So one of the ways to give your body some extra energy to be able to fight off the illness is to eat foods that are easily digestible. So for me, when you think of, chicken soups and teas and things like that, a lot of times we don't know why, but that's one of the biggest reasons why soups are the best thing to eat when you're sick, because they're just liquids. They're easily digestible. It's not taking a lot out of the body in order to get to the nutrients. Another thing that I do is that I juice. Now, I don't juice on a regular basis, and mainly because when you juice, you take out the fiber of the fruit or the vegetable, and you're pretty much just left with the juice. And a lot of times that's a really high sugar content. And because I've been challenged by insulin resistance in the past, and I'm staying away from diabetes by managing my glucose intake and my sugar intake, I'm really, really careful about taking in that sugar almost straight to my veins, and drinking.
You might as well have a needle, right?
Right. Drinking juice is the #1 way to get sugar straight to your system. So I don't normally do juicing on a regular basis, but when I'm ill, I'll fix up a quick juice cocktail that is not always delicious, but it's usually and it's on my blog if you guys go and look over there, but it's carrots, ginger. It usually consists of carrots, ginger, celery, garlic. It's like this like cocktail of like these powerful veggies that knock the cold right on out of you. So that's another thing that I do, and I get lots and lots of rest. I do, even though I still have work to do, since we're talking about busy lives, I taper down on the work. So, you know, maybe I'll cut down on the things that aren't a must do. You know, I'll still do some of the must do things. And even some of those must do things I do from my easy chair, in my pajamas or whatever, or in the bed and take a nap in between or whatever. But I allot time for that. And the last thing that I do is that I increase my supplement intake. So for me personally, and let me give y'all this disclaimer. Before you start a supplement, make sure that you check with your doctor first, because if you're on other medicines or you have certain health conditions, sometimes supplements do not always align with everybody's chemical makeup. But for me, I increase my echinacea right off the bat. I'm taking that every 2 hours. I increase my garlic, and I already take a multivitamin anyway, but garlic and echinacea, I increase the dosage of those to help with the cold. And I haven't had a cold in like 2 years. But I was nursing some other people and I caught their cold.
I gotcha. We need to throw some echinacea on them.
And that's how I got sick, actually, Keisha. I had my echinacea. I was like, oh, they were sick. I was like, oh, you know what? You need some echinacea. So I give them my echinacea, and I'm giving them coconut. They had ear infection, so I'm putting coconut oil in their ears and giving them echinacea, all this stuff. Then when I felt the little itch in my throat, all the echinacea's gone.
See what happens when you're a good Samaritan?
Yeah. So, you know, it took me 2 days to get to my store and get my echinacea. By then, it was full blown. Yeah.
I got you. But I'm glad you mentioned cutting back on work. And I know maybe a lot of times it is not as feasible to just say, you know what, I'm going to do no work. But yes, cut back a little. You know, if you have to go to the 9 to 5 or what have you. But when you get home, maybe it's somebody else do the chores, or you know what, the kitchen dishes, the dishes won't get done tonight. You know, things like that, so that you won't overstress the body while it's trying to heal. So another tip, again, all of this is part of getting the body to thrive. So even supplements. So let's start there. So you mentioned supplements. One of the things that my doctors, my chiropractor, you know, and even I know through my own research is everybody needs to get a nutritional profile done. If you have not had one, just go to your doctor. They'll, you know, take your blood or what have you, and they'll tell you what you may be deficient in, so that you will know what your body needs. And then you can either, which we prefer to get from food first, but a lot of times supplements do help. So go and get a nutritional profile. You know, if you have insurance, it should be covered. If not, hopefully it doesn't cost that much, but definitely get one so that you can see where you are. And that way, that's your starting point to say, okay, I know I was always deficient in iron.
Okay.
And my doc told me, well, he gave me a prescription for iron at this high dose level. But, you know, since then, I've been just taking my regular multivitamin, which should work. And then I also take a fish oil supplement. Yeah. And that one is another highly recommended one for most everybody. But again, you know, disclaimers, we're not doctors, go see your doctor. But so, you know, a high quality fish oil supplement, not just, you know, anyone you can pick up from places. Do your research and figure out what may be best for you. Supplements, I don't take much of anything else. That's really all I do. I was taking the B12 for a little while. because that was a little bit low, my last nutritional profile. But other than that, my fish oil. Oh, and a greens supplement. Now, I have one, and I've been, in an effort to get more greens and the benefits of our greens and get more, of the benefits of just the greens in my body. I went to an herb shop, and I got a greens supplement, and it's just one, just pop in water. It's pretty tasteless, and so I've been doing that as well. But other than that, I don't do anything else at this point. What about you, Ivy, on a regular basis? What do you do?
You don't even want to know my list. No.
But whatever works for you, right?
No, I say that because my friends and my family, they make fun of me because they're like, oh my gosh, like, what are you taking? But so my main stuff that I take a multivitamin. I will speak to what you said earlier about the quality. The quality makes a difference, because if not, you're just taking a sugar pill. So it's very important. And if you're going to spend your money on supplements, at least invest in something that's really going to give you a return on that investment, because a lot of supplements have sugar, chemicals. You're getting mostly sugar and chemicals and very little nutrients. So I take a multivitamin, and it actually includes the green vegetables you're talking about. So it has the what you would see in a normal multivitamin, plus all the green vegetables is added in there. So that's like my awesome favorite multivitamin. I take vitamin D, which almost the average American is low in vitamin D, which, we normally get that from the sunlight, particularly if you're in the northern regions, because in the northern regions we get fewer hours of daylight. So I take vitamin D. I take a B complex, which is all the B vitamins. So that's mainly for your energy. I take garlic. That's for my immune system. And I take coconut oil in a supplement, because a lot of times you see how awesome coconut oil is, and they'll tell you, oh, take a spoonful a day or cook with it, this and that. And I'm not always able to incorporate it in my meals every single day. So I found it in a supplement, and I take it in a supplement. That way I'm getting all the goodies from, and coconut oil is a healthy fat. So it's got all those good nutrients from that. And I take an apple cider vinegar, because ACV, see, I told you, you don't want to know my list. ACV is good for everything, like blood pressure, cholesterol, your muscles and aches and pains and all that kind of stuff. So I have more, but I'll stop.
Take us to your cabinet and your refrigerator so we can see
all
this
look,
stuff.
y'all, if I put this box out over here, y'all gonna be like, what?
But okay, so you know what though? I'm glad you mentioned ACV. So I bought some. I bought the, with the mother or whatever, the Bragg's version. I bought it, and I don't really drink anything else like tea or coffee or anything like that. So I'm like, what can I put it in to take? Do you just take a few tablespoons, or do you mix it in with something and drink it that way, or how do you do that?
You know what? I'm glad you asked. I have my little jar right here, which.
Oh, you got the capsule for okay.
I have a capsule, so it makes it easier, because I was putting in the water, but the thing with ACV is drinking it. It can mess up your throat, because it's so strong, and it can also take the enamel off your teeth. So a lot of times they recommend that you do it with a straw if you're drinking it in water. So I just take it in the capsules. That way I get it. It's done. It's done and over with. But one thing I'll say, like what you spoke to earlier, is that a lot of people are like, oh, if you eat right, you don't have to take supplements. Well, this is partially true, but one of the biggest things is that the quality of our fruits and vegetables these days, even if they're organic, they're so low in nutrients, because our soil now is so depleted that so many fruits and vegetables don't have the vitamins that we need, or it's so hard to pack them all into one day now and get the dosage that we need. So I I will say that I went to the doctor for my panel about 2 months ago, and everything was sparkling clean. Nothing was wrong.
Awesome.
So I feel like these supplements are doing their job. You know, because right. I mean, because I know I'm a larger woman. I'm a plus size woman. There's a lot of things that just because you're larger, sometimes you can be predisposed to those things. So, you know, cholesterol, high blood pressure, sugar levels, all of those were perfect. So I feel like my supplements really helped me to keep those things in order as well with diet, which I guess we're going to talk about that in a minute.
Yes, yes, yes. All right. Yeah, I'm getting the easy stuff. I'm getting the easy stuff out of it. All right. So we talked about supplements. If anybody has questions about that, or let us know what you're doing, what works for you. We'll be watching for that too in the comments, or even after the show. You know, let us know what you got going on. All right. So supplements. Next easy thing is, well, I think it's easy, is water. You know, it's so funny when I hear people say, I don't drink water. I was like, what do you mean you don't drink water? How can you not drink water? But yeah, guys, for those who don't mind drinking water, I can guarantee you still probably not drinking enough. I won't tell you what enough is for you. For me, my goal is 100 ounces a day. That's just my personal goal. 3 of these will give me 96. So if I hit 3 of these, that's my goal. That's my last one today. The easy trick for me there is, even when I work from home now, but even when I was in the office, I would just every other hour or so, or after maybe 2 conference calls or whatever it is I'm doing, I get up from my desk and replenish my water. So I'm never empty. And I would count. I know how to count, you know, how much of water that I will have that day. When I'm at my desk here at home, same thing. Once I'm done, I get up and go refill. Now, it may not be immediately, depending on what I'm doing, but for the most part, you know, I try to get that in. For those who don't drink water, I don't know what to tell you. Okay, how about this? If you are not heavy drinkers of water, things like pineapple, watermelon, some of the other melons, grapes, things like that are highly like watery or what have you. Like they give you a lot of water content. So maybe ramp up on some of those, and then it's a double whammy, right? So it gives you your water content from those types of fruits, as well as getting in some fruit. So hey, don't like water? There you go. Now we'll give you one more thing too. I'll say, I just like regular water, but for those who like sparkling water or some type of something in their water, and you want to go out and get those, those little flavor packets or what have you, again, watch the unnatural sweeteners and the sugar content in those. And I won't say the brand here, but I tried one and it has aspartame in it.
Yeah.
And it gave me headaches. And I didn't realize that until after I had like 2 or 3. So I never get headaches. I'm like, what's the latest thing I've done recently? And that was just add that flavor to my water. And after I stopped, you know, said, okay, I'm gonna see if this is it. Don't use it anymore. No more headaches. Yeah. So, and I looked at the ingredients and I'm like, oh, that's why. So different things affect different people, but I only say that so I want you to pay attention to what's in those things. Or like my niece started doing making her own juice waters, I guess. I don't know what you really call it. She just, you know, takes a whole bunch of juice. Yes. She takes a bunch of fruits, put it in some water, and drink it that way.
Yeah.
You know? I don't like anything in my water, but she loves it, and that gets her having more water in the day. So those types of things we have to trick ourselves sometimes to do, but hey, it works. I don't know. What about you on water content, Ivy?
I love water. I love water. Like, I'm just talking about it now. I want some. But I mean, I think over time, I just trained myself to love water. And I got to the point where I have read some tips and stuff a couple of years ago where it was like, when you go out, instead of ordering a drink, alcohol. But instead of ordering like, you know, a soda or a tea, order water. And the benefits of that is it's cutting down on your bill. You're getting your water in for the day. So I started doing those things, and now my body is used to water. And so I actually don't count my ounces in the day. I've learned for me, I've learned to go off my body cues. So I just drink water throughout the day because I like it. And sometimes if we're talking about super busy, sometimes if I do get super busy and forget my water, my body will let me know, because my lips will get dry. And when my lips get chapped, then I know I'm way behind.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm having to put on the Burt's Bees because I can't keep my lip, then I know, okay, you're behind on your water intake. Another cue for me is headaches. You know, if I'm getting like a frequent headache, a lot of times it's because I'm behind on my water. But I drink water as soon as I get up in the morning before I eat anything. I do drink bottled water, which I'm trying to cut down on bottled water and just go to filtered water in a bottle. But I'll drink a full bottle of water, and then throughout the day, I'm just drinking water. And I drink water before I go to bed, which is recommended for you as well for a number of reasons. But for people, my recommendations, even for my clients, I have a few clients who struggle with water. And so the recommendations that I gave to them were, first of all, try to make it fun, right? Okay, because we're visual people. So get yourself a water bottle that you love, like just invest in it, whether it's your favorite color or your favorite team, or like I have one that has like a peacock pattern on it or whatever, something that's going to kind of help you get excited about having your little water bottle on your desk and drinking your water. That's one of the things to get you started. Also drinking water out of like a wine glass or something that, something that dresses it up a little bit more instead of just like a paper cup or something. You know, dress up the routine of drinking your water. Another thing was, like you said, the infused water, which my family, we infuse water here. We actually have a picture, which I'll sneak over there and grab it for you so y'all can see it. But it has like a little tube in the middle. So we get real creative. Like right now we have a cucumber and mint one. We've done all the berries. We've done oranges and lemons and limes and stuff. So we just like experiment with different flavors just to keep it from getting boring. I'm also a big San Pellegrino drinker, which is mineral water, sparkling water, which is still water with carbon dioxide added to it. So it's still water, you're getting your water in, but it has the whole bubbly thing. I recommend that for my clients who are trying to get off of soda. Sometimes it's just like they're missing that fizz or whatever. And you can drink it flat, or what I've recommended to them is pouring it over fruit. So like cutting up some strawberries, putting it in a wine glass, pour your San Pellegrino.
I see you.
Fancy, you fancy. So, you know, make it special. So those are just some ways. And the last one was tea. Making your own tea. Because if you like, I also have a picture that you can make your own tea. So it has the same thing in the middle, and you just use the tea leaves and you make the tea. But the thing is that if you're making your own tea, you know, you're not putting the sugar in it or whatever, and you're getting lots of water because it's just the water with the tea infused into the water. So you're getting the flavor, the benefits of the green tea and all of that, and getting your liquids, but it's still giving you some flavor if you get bored with water, if you can't drink flat water.
Gotcha. Sounds good. I like the dressing up the container or your glassware or what have you. I think that's a experiment with that, guys. See how that works for you. I can give you one more tip if you're wondering, well, how do I know if I have enough water? If your pee is yellow,
Yeah.
You don't have enough water in your body.
Yeah.
outside of the morning urine, throughout the day, if you're not light to clear, you don't have enough water. So that's a way that I make it my goal. You know, I'm like, what color are we? Let me go up there some more. Mm-hmm. Which essentially, yes, makes you go to the bathroom more. But, you know, you will notice the coloring. Coloring always gives you an indication in terms of your excrements and things coming out of your body.
And the smell. And I know that's a lot of information, but
hey, well, they need it, man. We need it.
When you have that strong smelling urine, then you know that you're behind on your water because, yeah, you need more water.
More water. All right, so we got supplements, we got water. Now let's talk about on the go, some things that you and I do that maybe other people can adopt that they can incorporate very seamlessly. In the morning, I like how you have your drink of water in the morning. Awesome. I think that's a great way to start. There are lots of things you can do. Again, I'm a water person too. In the morning, I understand you may be heading out quickly. You only got up in enough time, and this is before another show, you only got up for enough time to, you know, get bathed, clothed, and get the kids or what have you, and get out the door, right? And you didn't save time for yourself. Again, another show for that one. But, what can you do? What can you grab? What can you know? Who wants to cook breakfast every morning? I know I don't. I'm not a cooker anyway. You know, what can you do? Well, one, I make protein smoothies or shakes or whatever you want to call it. And that takes 45 seconds for the blender, maybe a minute to put all the ingredients together. Really 3 to 4 minutes tops. Like, you know, if you get 3 to 4 minutes tops to get something for you so that your body can thrive, then we need to refocus and prioritize what's going on with you in the morning. But even getting up 5 minutes earlier can help you get that in. You know, and I just throw a bunch of stuff in there. You can throw all types of stuff in there so that it won't be boring every day eating the same thing.
Right.
You know, throw some fruit. I like bananas and peanut butter, and chocolate is my favorite. You know, chocolates, I use Da Vinci's chocolate syrups. They're 0 calories, all that good stuff. So that's my go-to because I know it's easy for me. And even, again, I told you guys I work from home, right? Even the little 25 feet commute. You know, most of the times I found myself getting up. Say, for instance, I start work at 8:30 or what have you. I didn't get up to 8:15. That didn't leave me much room to do much of anything. So I'm like, dude, I am right here at home. I know I can get up 5 minutes earlier than that and come in my office and have my water sitting here, have my protein shakes. I'm telling you, Ivy, it will be sometimes I look up, it's 12 o'clock. I have not had a drink of water or anything to eat.
Yeah.
So that was my cue to be like, okay, how about before you go in there and start working for everything and everybody else, how about you do a moment for you? And that is to get something in your body, something that can start your day, something that can pop you off. And, you know, you won't be starving. I'm talking to myself. I ain't going to be starving at 12 o'clock. So that's my morning thing there. And again, having these types of things, you know, your fruits or what have you sitting at your desk, your nuts. I have to be careful with nuts though, because it says a handful, you know, one serving. I'll be like this. Because I like cashews, I like seeds, you know what I mean? So, okay, I don't need a palm size, come on. But that's morning. What's your morning routine like?
My morning fluctuates. Right now, my morning is cereal, and I know that sounds like what, but
that's easy.
Because that is exactly why that's my morning. Because it's easy. It's like, you know, I have my it's probably not exciting cereal to you guys, but it's like this whole grain, flax, chia, amaranth, just like all these healthy things. And I have my almond milk, and because of the fact that it's like flax and all that stuff, plus the almond milk, it is filling when I eat a bowl of that. And sometimes I'll chop up some strawberries or peaches or something like that to make it a little more exciting and put it in there with it. But another thing that I've done at other times in the morning, like I go through different phases where I'm on my cereal kick. But I've been on the kick where I made a breakfast casserole, which was super easy, and I posted that on my blog too. But it was just eggs and spinach and tomatoes, sun-dried tomatoes, and then if you want to add meat, you can do like a turkey sausage, or you can do a turkey bacon, or whatever you want to put in there, and basically just putting it all together in a bowl, and then pouring it in a baking pan, a Pyrex dish, put it in the oven, and if you want to add cheese, you can, and then calling it a day. And it bakes into like a casserole. And then it was awesome because every day I could just cut a square out and throw it in the microwave. You know, if you want to take it and put it in a container for work, you can do that and put it in the microwave when you get to work. But it's already done. So rather than having to get up and make eggs every morning or whatever, then you could do that. And the reason I kind of rotate this stuff out is so that I'm not always like eating eggs every morning 12 months out of the year, and then your cholesterol is out of control. So I kind of try to rotate the stuff, and it's also just based on what my body's asking for. Like right now, I'm not really feeling eggs at all, so I don't really eat eggs right now.
I feel you.
Yeah.
I like that casserole. Actually, I have a recipe for a breakfast casserole with quinoa and eggs and all that stuff. And I'm planning to make that sometime soon. One of my new goals is to make one new dish a week. I have all these recipes. I've never made them. Like one new dish a week. I've already started, so that may be my next one.
Now, I want to drop another quick breakfast tip. Is that sometimes we don't think out of the box when it comes to breakfast. Like breakfast does not always have to be breakfast food.
Right.
So sometimes, like if this is one of my tips for later, but sometimes if I've cooked like a whole bunch of chicken breast, you know, I'll just have like a chicken breast in the a chicken breast in the morning, you know, and like some applesauce or like something on the side, because it's my morning protein. It's chicken, you know. It doesn't always have to be like eggs or cereal or, you know, something like that. And I've also made life easy on myself and gotten like, I have turkey sausage that's like, you know, I'm really big on organic because I try to stay away from the hormones, but that I can just throw in the microwave. It's already cooked or whatever. So it's still a healthy option. It's still getting me my food in the morning, but it's making life easy.
Yeah. I understand that. You know, that we want to make life easy, and you know, but we still want to be able to get some good stuff in more times than not, guys. You know, we're not sitting here preaching like 100% clean eating. You know, that's not what we're doing. But you know, how can we add in and crowd out other stuff? How can we add in some of the good stuff so that we're not always sitting in a drive-thru at a fast food restaurant, you know, in the evening, because we're so pooped and tired when we get home, we can't cook, or, you know, we can't do those type of things. So I work with a lot of people, and during the day, most of them will tell you, I don't eat lunch. I don't have time to eat lunch, or I don't. Okay, you can't tell me what you don't have time for. That's a whole nother topic too. You make time for what you need. I understand we're busy, right? I said we're talking to the busiest of the busy, right? But that doesn't mean you can't, you know, do something while you are, you know, trying to handle everything else. For instance, one of the things I like to do is keep, like I said, some cashews or little things. It can be crackers and cheese, string cheese. It can be, you know, you don't have to go out and eat a whole 5-course meal at lunch, but you need to have something so that you can continue running on something throughout the day. You need some type of energy throughout the day, right, to keep you working. Otherwise, you will fall and poop by the end of the day, and then it starts all over again. So this is your wake-up call to when you tell yourself, I cannot or I do not have time in the day to get lunch, or I forget about lunch, or I don't have anything throughout the day. If you keep finding yourself saying that, then that tells you right there, prioritizations need to happen. We need to regroup.
Yeah.
It could be the smallest of things. I don't really like to eat big lunches because afternoons, I already know that's not my time. That's not my most productive time. So if I eat something really heavy, I'm done for the day. You know what I mean? So I try not to eat anything that's going to be like heavy or really, really big. So if it's light, I don't care. Just grab something. Peanut butter is my favorite. If you're not allergic to peanuts or what have you, if you like peanut butter, oh my God, you can take a spoonful of peanut butter and I can do it with some cheese or some crackers or whatever it is. I can do peanut butter all day. That's kind of like my go-to, dude. A couple of tablespoons of peanut butter, I'm good. And it's filling because it's, it's thick and you don't just eat the whole thing. So yeah. It's all of that, right? But little things like that, this is what we're talking about. Little simple, practical things you can do where you're not, eating steak and potatoes every day for lunch or what have you. But it's something light, something sweet. Ivy, you mentioned earlier taking your stuff to work. What if when you cooked the meal and you had leftovers, you bundled it up, I don't know what it is, took it to work. Most jobs, you have a refrigerator and or microwave or something, or take something you can eat cold if you have to, or what have you. Little things like that, guys, is what you can do to get out of the I don't have time to eat lunch phase. Even if you're eating at your desk, which we don't highly recommend, but if you have to, you have something.
Right. Yeah, one of the things that I work from home now too, but it's okay. I'll get back to that in a minute. But when I worked at in an office in the corporate setting, one of the things that I learned was that I was big on meal planning, and just because my life was so busy that it just helped me to plan a meal. So on Sunday, when some of my clients feel this, some of them don't. But on Sunday, I would cook like 3 different meals. And so, like, for example, if I made like a baked chicken in the crock pot, and then I had like a casserole in the oven and baked fish in the oven. And so that's like 3 things. And one of the things that I loved about that was, first of all, I'm cooking on one day. I'm cooking everything on one day. I'm using all electricity and the energy to cook on one day. When the stove is on, I've got 3 different things in there or 2 different things in there while it's heated up at the same time. And then I will put it in the refrigerator, and then, I have it to rotate things out. So rather than like, oh, if I cook chicken, now I'm eating chicken for lunch and dinner, and I'm just sick and tired of eating chicken. And that's how we end up stopping by the drive-thru, right? Because we're tired of eating the same thing. But with the 3 different dishes, it was like, I have chicken, I have a fish, and I have like maybe some type of casserole over here. So if I took the chicken for lunch, I could have the casserole for dinner. The next day I could have the fish for lunch and the casserole for, I could kind of switch it up, and I had 3 different things I could pull from. But what that helped me save time. It helped me when I got up in the morning, I wasn't like running around trying to figure out what I was going to take. It was already done. And that just helped make life easier for me. And what you were talking about with the snacks, what worked for me was to predict my cravings. So like I know pretty much the routine cravings that I have during the week. I'm gonna want something crunchy, something salty, something sweet, something chewy. So when I go to the grocery store, I try to make sure that I buy a good option for all of those different things. So for crunchy, I might get like certain like chips that are like, healthy chips or something like that. If I want something sweet, I'm going to get some fruit or like a good choice of like a healthier cookie. That's like, a good cookie option. So I predict what my cravings are going to be and have those choices in the house. Yeah. And then when I go to work, I throw a couple of those different things in the bag with me. So when I get to work, I have those different options of things to pull from. That way, like you talked about earlier, when you kind of get off track because you're like, oh God, whatever, and you're going to the snack machine or what, because you're spazzing out. You're like, I'm hungry, just give me something. And that's when we make those choices, those last minute choices where we're just pulling anything, and we end up getting like a Big Mac or something like that.
Yeah. Exactly. So, or my go-to was Taco Bell.
Now,
It's right around the corner.
As a stay-at-home entrepreneur who works from home, I actually found it was a totally different thing. Like I had to learn this, right? That I actually was more off track with my eating staying at home than when I went out to work, because
I believe it.
I actually forgot to eat as an
Mhm.
entrepreneur
Yeah.
more than when I worked in the office. It's crazy, right? Because people think, oh, you're home, you probably just eat all day or something. But because you're responsible for everything yourself. If you're a solopreneur, you dig into stuff, and it was not hard to look up 4 or 5 o'clock and I hadn't eaten lunch or hadn't eaten anything. And sometimes it still slips up, and I'm like, what? I forgot the other day I put my lunch in the microwave, and then it was like 6 o'clock. And I like went to do something. It's like sitting in the microwave. And I was like, I didn't eat lunch today. It was just one of those things. So we talked about it before, having the designated time, which worked for me, and I got off schedule, but I know what to do, and what works is to say, okay, this time, and I had to put it in my calendar. It's not in my calendar now. I need to put it back in there, that this specific time of the day is for lunch. And for me, that means I move away from the laptop. I sit somewhere else, whether it's I'm watching TV or I'm watching a talk show or but anywhere other than in front of the computer to sit down, rest, and to eat. And I allot myself 2 hours, because if I gave myself an hour in corporate, if I work for myself, I deserve 2 hours. So
I hear you, girlfriend. I hear that. That's what's up.
But as an entrepreneur, like, you still have to, I think we still have to make sure that we're allotting that time for breakfast and lunch and snacks and breaks.
Yeah. And you know what, guys, it boils down to simply this. We say we are so freaking busy, right? We're all so freaking busy. Yeah, right? But have you noticed that when we say that, that means that we make our busy schedules top priority.
Yeah.
And then where do we come in?
Yeah.
And I think that, no, we're not going to be 100 with this. There are always going to be things that come up, right? But I think if we even focus just a little bit more and, not be so dedicated to our schedules, and use a little bit of that, pull it back for us, I think even though the tiniest of changes in our minds can help us to get in more of what we need for our bodies, so that we can function on our schedules. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like a catch-22, or you can't be so busy, and you can't be doing this and everything, but not getting what you need to sustain you doing some of everything. You know what I mean? But then, it's a balance in everything that you do. So if you are the busiest of the busiest of folks out there, I do not know what you're going through, then you have to be as dedicated to getting in the nutrition you need by way of water, food, supplements, whatever else you need, so that you can dedicate yourself to that, not just to the schedule that runs your life.
Yeah.
Right? I know it's easier said than done, but if you start to practice it, I think the more that you think about it, the more you do about it.
Yeah.
I really do believe that. And a lot of times, like Ivy said, even when she's off track, she maybe that day went bad, but I bet you the next day, or it's not 7 days in a row that she forgets to eat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's going to be a matter of, of balancing it out. And if you need some help doing that, let Ivy or I know. We can help you. Maybe we can help you run through your schedule to see where you can fit in some things that you may need for nutrition, and all of that good stuff. Yes.
And the thing is to remember that nutrition is what powers you in order for you to be successful. Like, all the things that you have, you're on your busy list that you have to get done. Like, you need your body and your brain to be functioning to do those things. And the brain is like 60-something% fat. So it's like, it needs that food. It needs those healthy fats. Like the more you're eating, the more brain power you're having, the more energy you have. When you're drinking, I'm telling you, drinking your water makes all the difference in your level of concentration, in your energy level, in how you sleep, just how you function as a human being, period. So you're actually going to be more productive by allotting the time to do these things. And what I found worked best for me, and you could just take this into consideration for you, is to pick at least that one day of the week where you can get this all set up for the week, and then it's done. So you don't have to keep trying to go back there. So what I mean by that is, if you have that day of the week where you're going out to the grocery store, you're getting everything together, you're getting all your snacks and stuff together, whatever you're going to eat, your fruit, whether if you need to cut it up, core it, peel it, whatever,
right.
Do all that, get it into containers, get it set up. That way all week you can just function like a well-oiled machine. When you get ready, when you're running out the door for a meeting, you can grab that bag of pineapples, or grab that container of strawberries and just take it with you. Grab that bag of nuts or whatever, because it's already ready. Then by the time you get to Friday or Saturday, it's probably depleted. Give yourself your cheat day, or whatever you want to call it, your indulgence day, or what, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, on Saturday, to just wild out. And then then you're back to Sunday again, back to your day of, all right, let me plan for the week. But if you take that one day to line everything up, I'm telling you, it makes the rest of the week so much easier.
Girl, don't give me an indulgence day. You got to give me an indulgence meal. Because if I do the whole day, it's a wrap.
So you pick one meal?
Yeah, I got to pick a meal. Because if I just say, oh, all day today, it's nah, it won't work.
It's all downhill from there, huh?
Because I know my triggers. You know what I mean? I know my triggers. I know, this is a little bit off topic, but if I start off with something crazy, I'm going to end up with something crazy. So if I even do something like that, it will most likely be in the evening, so that all day I'm not grabbing and eating some of everything I know I probably shouldn't be. That's not going to be working for me. So yeah, girl, that's another thing, y'all. You got to know your body, right?
Yeah, you got to know you. You got to know
you. Right. Well, Ivy, do you have anything else you want to offer up our viewers?
The only thing I had at the to add was stick with it, and don't feel like there's a such thing as even though we kind of joke and say all downhill or whatever, but just look at it as a journey. There's not a destination. You don't get to the point where you're like, "Ooh, I'm the nutrition superstar now." It's there's gonna be days, like I said. What day is today? Today's Wednesday, and Monday was the day that I just left my meal in the microwave and forgot to eat my lunch. And, it was just one of those days where things was off track. But today I was very busy, but I came home, I made my lunch, I sat down at the table, I ate it, so if you do happen to have a day where things aren't as you prefer them to be, you can always start the next day. Just stick with it and keep doing it. And before you know it, all these things we talked about, your food, your supplements, your water, all that stuff will become a lifestyle. But you have to stick with it first.
Agree. Wholeheartedly agree.
Awesomeness.
Yes. So if you guys have any questions at all, or want us to help you with your schedule, getting some stuff in there, some easy nutrition tips for you, please let us know. You can go to chatchewandyou.com to get in touch with us and learn about our next shows and view our past shows as well. If you have any topics or ideas you want us to talk about and join in on us with, let us know that too. We are an open book. Right, Ivy?
Absolutely.
Bring it on. All right, I think that's a wrap for us tonight, guys. Stay tuned for our next show we have coming up. The topic to be announced, but if you are on our mailing list or you're following us on Google Plus or any of our other social accounts, you will be notified. Other than that, and that's it, guys. Toodles!
Thank you. Things that help you to survive and to thrive in life. And so, yeah, I would think that would be my perspective in a way of not making it too complicated. And
right.
You know.
As a matter of fact, you guys noticed I asked a health coach. So she had the perfect answer, right? I mean, Webster couldn't provide a better answer than that. So.
Thank you. I want to keep it simple. I don't want it to be complicated. You know, we're not doing doctoral degrees here.
Right. I don't want one of those anyway. It sounds too complicated. But, so yes, guys, we are talking about the things you can do for your body to make sure, and I love what Ivy says, to thrive, right? Not just to satisfy our taste buds, because if that's the case, I, be eating all my favorite foods every day, but but it's for our body to thrive. And if you think about it, all the stuff that we as busy people do, we're in the age of busy now, right? Bump the industrial age, the ice age, mechanical age, whatever other ages, we are in the busy age. And all the stuff we have going on is so easy to get those less nutritious foods because they're more convenient, right? We can stop at fast food places. We can pick up those, and I'm guilty. We can pick up those, Michelinas or whatever you call them, little processed frozen foods at the grocery store and all of that good stuff because it's so simple to pop something in the microwave and live a microwave life. You know what I mean? But tonight, guys, I want you to listen up because we are going to tell you some things that we do as well as what we found other people have found helpful to get in what they need. And it's not just food, right? We're talking about thriving. So that means water and supplements. And matter of fact, Ivy did mention that, supplements as well. So we're going to talk about those things that you can do to thrive and have that energy of the day, right? Okay, so now we have that out of the way. Okay, so think about your day. Your day is divided up into all types of things, right? We got so many errands on our list. We got to-do lists. We got to, we have to sleep at some point. So that takes up some of our day. We're working, building businesses, whatever it is we're doing. And we find little slits of time in there to get in something to ingest in our bodies. And a lot of times it's so quick, we even forget what the food tasted like or what we had. What did you have for lunch? Oh, dang, I don't even know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so with that, it's like, okay, what can you really, for those meals we don't even remember, were they really nutritious? I have no clue. I have no idea a lot of times. So what is it that we can do? So that's what we're talking about tonight. Again, if you have any questions, let us know. Ivy, I know you mentioned you had getting over a cold a little bit. What are some things you do when your body is healing, in healing mode or what have you? Because I think this is important too. What do you do in terms of what you're eating, what you're doing? How do you get your energy when you're recuperating, so to speak? Because you're still busy, you still have to work, you still have to, do stuff. What do you do in those instances in terms of food and water and nutrition? I mean, overall.
Sure. I actually wrote a blog post about this, and I've been on this tomato and cucumber kick. I posted about it on Instagram. Like, I've just been craving tomatoes and cucumbers. So I've been getting those in. So maybe somewhere in the broadcast, I'll sneak over to the kitchen and grab some real quick. Because that has been my thing. And you know what it is? It's because they I don't know, I guess because summer's almost over and I'm getting them in before the season is over, and they're so filling and crunchy, and yeah, I'm gonna get some.
You have talked yourself into getting some. I hear you. Yes. Well, if you had your phone or device or something, you can walk us with you to your kitchen.
I can do that. I can connect to the phone and do that.
All right. Okay. So nutrition tips. Before we even get started, wanted to share with you guys one more thing Nutrition. What is nutrition? It may seem like a simple word, and everybody will say, "Oh, I know what nutrition is." It is. And then what would you say, Ivy?
I would say that nutrition is anything that you're intaking that's going to provide your body with the necessary sources. And I'm trying not to use the word nutrients, but um, the sources, the chemicals, the things that it needs in order to survive and to thrive. So when you think about, the vitamins that you need, the chemicals that you need, of course, there's the water and the liquids that you need in order to survive. Nutrition is focusing on those things. The blog post made me actually zero in on it even more about, hey, what do I do? Because like you said, sometimes we do things just inherently, and we don't really think about exactly, all the specific points. So one of the biggest things that I do is that I decrease the foods that require a high amount of digestion. So let me explain that. Like the heavy meats, like red meats, those really heavy meals. And the reason for that is because when you want your body to be healing from the flu or a cold or whatever, it takes energy from your body to recuperate and to fight off that illness that you're dealing with. And so if the body, it takes energy to digest meals and to digest food. So if your body is fighting off the cold or the flu and it's digesting meals, I mean, you're just going to be absolutely drained. So one of the ways to give your body some extra energy to be able to fight off the illness is to eat foods that are easily digestible. So for me, when you think of, chicken soups and teas and things like that, a lot of times we don't know why, but that's one of the biggest reasons why soups are the best thing to eat when you're sick, because they're just liquids. They're easily digestible. It's not taking a lot out of the body in order to get to the nutrients. Another thing that I do is that I juice. Now, I don't juice on a regular basis, and mainly because.
All right, we are live. Hey, guys. It's your favorite wellness chicks, Keisha and Ivy, and we are here from your favorite and only Chat, Chew, and You show, the interactive wellness show where it's all about promoting self-care, holistic health, and confident, energetic living. Who doesn't want that, right? And today, yes, we are talking about getting in nutrition. Easy, simple nutrition tips for the busiest of the busiest folks, all right? That includes me, Ivy, and you who's watching, obviously, because you want to know, too, how to get in and get the nutrition right? All right, so keep listening, but before we delve into that, I want to tell you about a couple of things. One, if you have any questions to the show, any comments or feedback, please let us know. You can do so on the events page in Google+, and we'll be sure to address them. Secondly, the name of the show, Chat, Chew, and You. We're chatting, we are chewing, and we need you to interact with us. So tell us what you're chewing on in the comments as well. I have some lovely, delicious pineapples. Got to get some more food in today. Juicy. So if you see something in my teeth or what have you, just, never mind me. It might be, some pineapples or something. And I have my trusty water, so I have not had enough today, and I know that, so I got to get that in. What about you, Ivy? You got anything over there you munching on?
You know what? I do not, because I told you it's been one of those crazy days. And interestingly enough, I have pineapples in the refrigerator, and earlier today I just ran in there and took a few cubes. And lately